Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Solar Opposites Season 4. And this is a big season because Justin Roiland's no longer part of the show, and they wound up replacing his voice as Corvo with Dan Stevens. And when he first starts talking, it's a really big shock and hard adjustment, and then it makes that joke that it knows that it's going to be a hard adjustment. But after, the first episode, it felt very natural. Dan Stevens is such a talented actor, and he puts it all into this. And, yeah, he sounds very different, but I think he has a lot of fun with it. He finds new ways to have, playing around with the voice and everything. And so, if you're worried about that part, it's just going to be different moving forward. And it's hard to judge, the quality of the episodes if you went on the IMDb, because you could tell, all of these episodes this season were review bombed with, tons of one-star ratings with no reviews. And probably because people were mad about Justin Roiland getting let go from the show. But this particular season, you still have all the wall stuff, which in many ways, the wall stuff, some of the most interesting things happening. This particular season, I felt like the wall stuff was still interesting, but none of it felt that new. It was definitely, there's some brutal moments, there's some shocking moments, but I feel like the wall stuff in the past kind of built up more tension and intrigue about it, but it still worked. You had there's a whole side episode with that character Glenn out in space again, and I thought they did some interesting things with that story. Where this season ends is probably the most interesting thing, because this last episode they really go outside the box with and sets up such an interesting potential new wrinkle if they continue with it into the 5th season, about this idea of being too acclimated with Earth and turning into human and adding that kind of layer to it. But there's a lot of fun references to things from other seasons, the Gooblers are back and at it again, causing all kinds of craziness. There's a lot of fun, Aisha gets a whole entire episode, which was cool, and Tiffany Haddish got some extra time to shine here, and is Aisha gonna have a boyfriend and making this connection. But you still have all these crazy shenanigans that the crew gets into in this season, and whether it's Corvo making dumb decisions, getting him caught in stuff, or Terry or Yumulek or Jesse, they're all doing their thing and causing all kinds of chaos. I think the Poopa gets a lot of fun elements in this particular season. There's a whole episode where the Poopa's off doing its own thing, and it's so weird and crazy. I feel like this season, it's definitely not the strongest season of the show, and sure, it feels like it's kind of leaning into some of the same old. But I do feel like it ends on a high note and opens the door for some very interesting new things that they could potentially do with the show. But I still really enjoy this, and especially after the last 2 seasons, it really hit its stride. So it can still ride high on some of that really good work. But here, it's a solid, good, enjoyable season of the show. And they do navigate the Justin Roiland situation in an interesting, but I think effective kind of way. But those are my thoughts on Solar Opposites Season 4. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.